Hello everybody, my name is Alex. Welcome to your first ukulele lesson here. I'm so excited to teach you how to play ukulele. First I want to say if your ukulele is out of tune, I have a different video for that. I'll put a link in the description below so you can learn how to tune your ukulele. If your ukulele is all tuned up and ready to go, then you're in the right place. The first song I always teach, whether you're 6 years old or you're 60 years old, is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. One, it's a song that everybody knows, and two, it's a pretty simple song, so it's a good stepping stone for those more difficult songs that we will get to in other videos. I will also put a time marker in the description below that you can click on if you want to go right to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Because before we're going to play the song, I want to talk about the ukulele a little bit, because there's so much that we need to know before we can actually start playing anything. For instance, we need to know the names of the strings. This is really important, right? I'm also going to assume that you are a right-handed player. If you're left-handed, the ukulele could go the other way, but then the strings would be upside down. If you're left-handed, you also could learn to play right-handed. You're using both hands anyways. There's a lot of competing ideas on what you should do as a left-handed player. But this video, I'm going to assume you're right-handed. So before we talk about the strings, let's hold the ukulele the correct way first. The neck of the ukulele is going to rest in your left hand. Your right hand is going to go over the top, and you're going to hold on to the bottom of the ukulele here, and your thumb will be free to strum through the strings. And you can even try that a couple times to see how it feels. Okay, now let's talk about the names of the strings. The strings are G, C, E, A. Not so easy to remember. So I tell all my students, good cats eat apples. If you can remember good cats eat apples, you can remember the names of the strings. So we have the G string, the C string, the E string, and the A string. Good cats eat apples. The next thing that I think is really important to know are what these things are called. These steel bars going through the neck of the ukulele. They're called frets. You're going to hear me say that word a lot. These are called frets. Now, something that's kind of confusing, this terminology that musicians use, is when you play a note, you press down in between the frets, but you also call that the fret. So if I say play a note on the first fret, I mean play a note in the first space. Okay? Kind of confusing. But the literal fret are these steel bars. And if you look at the neck closely, the top of the fretboard here, you can see that there are dots. And those dots are not to just make it look cool. They help us navigate the ukulele, and almost every ukulele has these dots. Usually, you can double check on yours, but usually the first dot is on the 5th fret, or the 5th space. And that is really helpful because instead of having to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to find the 5th fret, you can just look for the dot and go right to the 5th fret. If you need to go to the 6th fret, you just go one past the dot, right? It's really easy. Also, usually, of course mine does not, but usually ukuleles have dots right on the side of the neck here, so that when you look down at your hands, you can see the dots on top of the neck instead of having to reach your head over like that. Okay, so now that we've got that, one more important thing to talk about. I promise we're going to play in just another minute here. Your left hand, your fingers, they are numbered. And if you play piano, this could be a little confusing because in piano, your thumb is your first finger, but we don't press down any strings with our thumb on ukulele. So in the ukulele universe, your pointer finger is 1, make a peace sign, middle finger is 2, ring finger is 3, and your pinky is 4. For this song, we are just going to use our first finger. We will use all the other fingers at some point, But for this song, I think it's easiest for now just to use our index finger, okay? Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, here we are, we've made it. The song has 3 parts. We will learn each of the 3 parts and then we'll put it all together at the end, okay? The first part, you don't even have to use your left hand. You're gonna hold the neck, make sure that your hand isn't touching any of the strings so that they all can ring through. But the beginning of the song goes like this. You just use your thumb. It goes C, C, G, G, A, G. Let me do that again. C, C, G, G, A, G. Good job. That's the first part of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Not too bad, right? If you need to pause the video to practice that, you should. Okay, the next part, we are going to use our left hand. So we're going to use our index finger, and we are going to press down on the first fret of the E string. And by first fret, I mean the first space, right? So you're going to press down right in that first space on the E string. And I want you to get right on the tip of your finger. Right on the tip of your finger. Your finger shouldn't be touching any other strings. And your thumb should be like a thumbs up on the back of the neck. If your thumb is like this, that's no good. Your thumb has got to be up on the back of the neck like that, kind of like you're pinching the string between your finger and your thumb. Okay? So the next part of the song starts like this. And I'm going to say E1 for the first fret. So we have E1, E1, and then you let go and you just hit the open E string, which I'm going to call E0 for the 0 fret. E0, E0, and then you're going to take your first finger and go to the C string, 2nd fret, C2, C2, and then let go for the open C string, C. So if we put that all together, it sounds like this. E1, E1, E, E, C2, C2, C. And a quick tip, when you press down on the first fret, it's especially hard to press down if you're all the way back here. So get right up against the fret. It's okay if your finger feels the fret, you just don't want to be on top of it, but you can be right before it. And that's the easiest spot to press down the string. It should ring through nice and clear. If it's buzzing a little bit, you might not be pressing down hard enough. So make sure you press down nice and hard, just hard enough. You don't want to hurt yourself. Again, this part sounds like E1, E1, E, E, C2, C2, C. Okay, good. So that's part number 2. If you want to pause the video, you can practice that. You could even play the first part and then the second part, put that together. But now I'm going to show you part number 3, the last part. So this part I think is really fun. We're going to start on the 3rd fret of the E string now. Okay, so you're going to count 1, 2, 3. So we're in the 3rd space here, or the 3rd fret, okay? And you go E3, E3, move back to E1, 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 let go for E0, 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 and then C2. And this part in the song gets played 2 times in a row. It sounds like this. E3, E3, E1, E1, E0, E0, C2, and then again. E3, E3, E1, E1, E0, E0, C2. Okay, now let's put it all together. So there's only 3 parts. They get repeated to make up the whole song. Okay, so I'm going to play it for you. You can try to play along, or you can pause it and practice a little bit and then try to play along, but we're going to put it all together now. It sounds like this. C, C, G, G, A, G, E1, E1, E, E, C2, C2, C. Now part number 3. E3, E3, E1, E1, E, E, C2, and again, E3, E3, E1, E1, E, E, C2. Back to the beginning. C, C, G, G, A, G. Part number 2. E1, E1, E, E, C2, C2, C. And that is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. If your fingertips hurt a little bit, that's normal, and they will toughen up as you play. I've got these nasty calluses from playing for many years. If a muscle in your hand hurts, then you should take a break, try to relax. Your hand itself should not be hurting. If you like this video, please subscribe and follow along. I'll be posting lots more videos. You can also visit my website at strummyuke.com. Oh, and I'll put the music for Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in the description below as well. Thank you so much, and welcome to playing ukulele.